Hey everyone, it's Lindsey Baker from Jane Unchained, and you know my shows, The Action Hour and Rescue Stories. Well, today I am here to cook for you, of all things. Can you believe it? And I'm here with my friend Diana Munoz, who is one of the founders, one of the three founders of Gentle Giants nonprofit. And I want to show you what we're cooking. Woo, look at this. We are going to be making a polenta pizza. That's right. It's my Aunt Terry's famous polenta recipe, but we've made it a little bit more veganized, if you know what I mean. How are you doing, Diana?
Oh my God, I'm very well. I'm so happy to be here with you to share all this delicious feast. I mean, it looks wonderful. Can't wait to see how it's done.
Well, we're going to get started here. And the first thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to tell people here that I am, hopefully you can see this. Let me just move. Yeah, because I want people to be able to see my pot here, but I'm boiling some water and I'm going to be putting in the corn grits that I have right here. Let me show that to everyone on camera here. Yeah. In fact, let me change our view here. There, that's better, so I can show the recipe. And later when you're going to talk about Gentle Giants for us and talk about the amazing fundraiser, I'm going to put you on focus. But right now, let me just show the folks that I am boiling some water here. I hope you can see that. And I'm throwing in a cup of that, Bob's Red Hill corn grits, AKA polenta. And you want to stir it right away. And it tells you to cook it for 5 minutes on a very low flame. But I got to tell you, folks, as soon as you start to stir it in and put the lid on, it's going to get thick really fast. And it's going to start to look like it's going to burn. So I take it off the flames. And so you really just do that. We have to wait a few minutes for that to go. But I want to show you what the end product looks like and talk about the process. So once the polenta is done cooking, which we'll see rapidly happens, we're going to, this pan has a little bit of olive oil on it, which you could put on here to just soften it. They say also in the recipe that I checked out, because I know my aunt's recipe, Diana, but I didn't know like all the little details. It was just for me. Have you ever done this when you're a little kid, sit there next to your aunt and your auntie or your mom and watch them cook, and then suddenly you know how to do it, but you're like, whoa, I think I do. So I looked at your recipe. Have you done that?
I have done that, and actually I know exactly what you're living, because we follow our own memory and we do it fine, but we have to learn the little tricks. So
right. Absolutely.
So I wanted to ask you, do you have to put that in when the water is boiling, or does it start once the water is boiling, or before, or when do you have to put the cornbread or the
corn grits in? Yeah, thank you. That's a great question, and people are probably wondering. So yeah, you get the water to a rapid boil. That's 3 cups of water and a little bit of salt, and it will be in the recipe. The recipe link will be here, but it's going to be on the Jane Unchained blog, our website blog, and the recipes are all there for all the Jane Unchained Lunch Break Live. So people who want to learn how to cook vegan can learn a lot of great recipes there. And I love this recipe, Diana, because it's so healthy. I'm going to be using spinach. I don't know if I said this. I'm going to be using spinach, vegan bacon, which is the smart bacon. And I'm going to be using, like I showed before, mushrooms and Roma tomatoes. And in a moment, I'm going to show you how I will be grilling up, not grilling really, just kind of browning the vegan bacon. Oh boy, so see, as I said, it's getting thick really fast. They said 5 minutes, but I think this is like 2 minutes. Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can lift this without burning myself. So everybody just bear with me to show you how it's thickening so quickly. Can you see that?
Oh, yes, absolutely. It looks like really thickened.
Yeah, so we don't want it to thicken too much more because this stuff, it becomes a little bit like, I don't want to say the word glue, but it's a starchy, it's corn. So think about cornstarch. So it thickens quickly. And the other thing is, even as it thickens here, you want to turn it off for maybe a minute, and let's chat for a minute. And then you want to quickly get it into the pan.
Okay.
So let's chat for a minute, like a minute or two. So I'm really excited, Diana, because we're going to be doing this fabulous fundraiser with amazing artists for Gentle Giants nonprofit. Why don't you tell people in a couple of sentences, what Gentle Giants is as I work with this?
Okay, Gentle Giants is a nonprofit that helps elephants from Thailand. And while helping elephants from Thailand, we are also helping everyone from Thailand, starting from the elephants' families, and also, everyone we have to hire to help the elephants, to feed the elephants, to build shelters. So Gentle Giants, was born because of COVID and has really grown into something amazing, helping many, not only the elephants, but also their families and the children, and feeding a whole bunch of families.
That's amazing. I don't think people think about that, how this has affected. We know it affects the animals, but they don't think about the close tie between compassion for humans and compassion for animals.
Exactly. And if we realize, when Gentle Giants, we set off to help the elephants that had to walk 100 miles back to the villages, and we wanted for their slavery to end. So we launched a sponsorship program. But along the way, we've been up and running for 3.5 months. And along the way, we've noticed that, it's been a beautiful ripple effect of compassion towards not only the elephants, but all humans that come in close contact with them. We're working with the farmers, the people that have to pick the produce also are getting paid because of the Gentle Giant Stay Home Project. The people that have to drive the trucks to transport the produce to the elephants, so it's just been a beautiful ripple effect that has brought in a lot of relief among, so much suffering. COVID has really caused a lot of suffering. Are you almost there with that? Looks delicious.
I'll jump in for a second, but hold that thought. So I'm going to be putting on, I poured it, you have to do it quickly, and that's why I have to interrupt you once in a while to show the steps. Sorry, I don't mean to be interrupting, but it's going to get hard. It gets really hard fast. So you want to move while you have a moment. And then, so I'm putting black pepper.
Okay, that's right.
I'm putting garlic salt.
Mm.
And then this goes into the oven. And there's a little bit of garlic salt has parsley in it. We're also, when we put the second part of this recipe, we start to work with all the ingredients. I'm going to be putting on some fresh basil. So the more fresh ingredients we have, the better, as you know. So, it looks pretty good already. I mean, look at that. Isn't that pretty?
It looks delicious. More than pretty, it just looks like you really want to eat it.
That's the important thing, right? Even if it's ugly, as long as it's delicious. But this is pretty and delicious. So this will go in the oven now at 450 for a half hour. But I started checking mine in 20 minutes, after 20 minutes, because everybody's oven is different. So I check at 20, but you want it slightly golden brown. You also don't want to dry it out. So excuse me. Let me step back. I made a mistake, folks. My enthusiasm, it does have to set for 2 hours. So you cover this and put it in the fridge. But the good news is, if you want to make it the night before, you do this step of just boiling the water, putting in the salt, cooking. I'm going to just mute you for 1 sec because there's feedback. Yeah, that's better. So you do all the steps I did before. You take this, you put it in your fridge overnight, and in the morning you bake it. It's so easy. Come home from work and you do the next part, which takes 15 minutes. So it's just amazing. So I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to move over. I have a frying pan or a skillet, I should call it. Try to get a little better with my wording here as I'm becoming more of a cook. I would never say chef. But anyway, I put about a tablespoon of olive oil. And now I'm going to just heat that up. And then I'm going to put in the vegan bacon. So, Diana, what is your favorite vegan recipe that you have all the time?
Well, also it's something similar to that, but it's pizza. You know, it's very similar pizza where I've eaten a lot of mostly the ingredients that you are putting in. Also, I like a lot lentil bean soup, which is absolutely delicious.
Yes.
So that's, anything that has to do with lentils or garbanzos or anything like that, I just love. And the vegan pizza, I think, would be my favorite.
So is there one particular vegan pizza that you love? Have you ever been to Mod Pizza?
I haven't. No, actually, we
where do
make
you
it
live?
here. I'm sorry?
Where do you live?
In LA.
Oh, you do live in LA. I should know that. That's silly of me. Okay, so then Mod Pizza all over LA.
I'm going to have to go, but with COVID.
No, yeah, you can't go now. That's true. But what they serve is they actually serve, you can veganize your pizza there. And they have every ingredient that you would need. So yeah, it's good. Just to show everyone, I'm making the bacon right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook the bacon. This is going to take about 5 minutes. And then I'm going to add in the mushrooms and the spinach. And really, this recipe is so cool because I wanted to just show as this is cooking, Diana, some of the versatility of the recipe. So let me just jump in here for a moment. So depending on what you put on there, depending on what you decide, that's corn, peppers, so peppers and corn, and parsley. Okay, so, whoops. And this one, I like this one because I'm doing the mushrooms. This one's mushrooms, peppers, and black olive. And this one here is just using the little cherry tomatoes. So one more. I mean, you get the idea. I'm not going to show all of them, but you can do it. I would think this one would be great with jackfruit. What do you think? Let me unmute you. Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think you're absolutely right. They all look delicious. And I think the best thing of it, they all look so healthy. Do you have any idea how many calories each one of them more or less has?
Oh my goodness. I really don't know per se, but I know it's at least, I don't want to lie and guess and all that stuff. I don't know, Diana, but I know it's less. And the main thing is, and I think you probably can attest to this, is it's healthy and being vegan, you're satisfied. So you don't have to look at those calories. Now, if you're going to go crazy over the cakes, let me get you back on the screen here. If you're going to go crazy over the cakes. Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I want to show here? This is amazing. This smells just like bacon and looks just like bacon. It actually does. Now, I mean, it's not exactly like bacon, but you know what it looks like? It looks like Taylor ham pork roll. And if you're on the East Coast, you're going to know what I'm saying. And it looks like the real thing. In fact, so much so, I think some people are repulsed by it because they think of the animals and the suffering. What do you think about that?
Well, I've never really liked bacon, but for the people that do, and this is an option, I think that is really amazing because what you just said, it takes off the factor of the suffering of any animal. And it's just, if they can change it for that, I think that would be fantastic.
It's so important. I mean, those poor elephants and all the other animals that suffer because of our lack of consciousness as humans. But things are getting better. And I think people like you and I that are trying to get the word out, you do so much with your organization. And why don't you name some of the people you work with and just talk a little bit about, your team?
Yes, well, my team is, oh, it looks it really looks delicious. My team is Colby Steiner and Tracy Jane Brace and world-renowned elephant conservationist Lex Charlotte and her husband, Derek Thompson. So, they are, Lex and Derek have rescued hundreds of elephants. And, right now they are a team in Thailand that are helping so many, overcome this crisis of COVID, through Gentle Giants and through our sponsorship program. And it's really fabulous. I hope everyone comes to the fundraiser and is part of this amazing change, of this excellent opportunity. It's going to be so much fun. And it's such a heartwarming feeling to know that you're helping animals and humans. And it's just, every penny counts. Everything is going to be, everyone's chipping in, coming together to help.
Right.
What are you going to be putting there?
Oh, yeah. I just want to say that if you can't make it, you can still donate, and any little amount helps. So you'll be seeing a link. We will also put a donation link on this page in case you can't make it, but you still want to help. That would be a way. And just another way you can help is by sharing this video. Let me sorry, I have to mute. So I know, because, oops, there you are. You look beautiful. Let me go back. But actually, I just have to mute so that the noise goes away. So yeah, you can also share out this video, which would be a tremendous help. Now, we've got the bacon, vegan bacon, of course. So and I do have clean hands, I'm going to do is throw in the mushrooms, and they're going to sizzle for a few minutes and we can chat some more. Diana, let me that's it. I'm not putting anything with them, but I am going to cover it up. And I've got to keep a close eye. One thing I might put in is a little bit of water. I'm going to grab a little water over at the sink. So excuse my accents, but you have Diana's lovely face to appreciate. And I just want to get a little bit of water in there. Yeah, so we have an amazing group of activists, creative artists, geniuses coming on. We have a celloist. We have two celloists. We have opera singers, and all of those musicians that I mentioned, that's two teams or two, what are they called? Musical groups, two people in each group. They are all from New York and have performed on Broadway and all over in musical theater and in, in orchestras. And I don't even know, but I know they're super pro, amazing, big-hearted musicians. And then we have also on our end, talk about amazing, we have the lovely Annalisa Dunker, and she is going to be performing her exotic show of singing and dancing, exotic cultural dancing. It's amazing what she does, and she brings in the spiritual aspect. It really touches your heart. And we have Nicolette Auberg also. Now, I know their names, and I don't want to make a mistake with the other names. I know one of the groups is Chrysalis, and then there's a husband and wife group, but we're going to put all their names up in this broadcast so everyone knows who they are. And I'll share the meme, which is going to be ready this afternoon, so everyone can know who those people are. But we have an amazing cast. Diana, go ahead. I'm going to let you talk for a minute.
Exactly. We have an amazing cast, and it's just for such an amazing, loving reason we're all coming together. I think that is something that we have to really think about, that this fundraiser, it's really selfless, it's full of love and compassion, and everyone that takes part of it is just participating in something that really is changing the lives of not only the elephants, but the people who are in charge of the elephants and their families. And we're not only changing their lives, but in this crisis, we're also helping to feed them, literally feed them. So that is something that we really have to think about.
Yes. Now, I just want to show everyone, speaking about feeding, that the mushrooms are sizzling. I added a little bit of water. Hopefully you can see that. And then I'm going to now bring the spinach in here. I have a bowl, I don't know how much that is, a half of a large package. It will be in the ingredients stated, but I'm just going to throw it in because you know how spinach, Diana, you know how spinach reduces and shrinks terribly.
Yes. So are you putting it in inside the mushrooms?
Yeah, the mushrooms yes.
Okay.
First we put the bacon, the vegan bacon, to get the flavor in there. And you know, you normally start with the meat in all recipes. So we start with that because that's our plant-based meat.
Yes.
And then we put in the mushrooms. The spinach will take a few seconds and we're ready to load the pizzas. So the other two ingredients, I'm using, just folks, when I talk, it's a howling noise. So I'm using chow. Actually, the recipe calls for vegan mozzarella, and I do have the vegan parm, but I didn't have the vegan mozzarella, so I made do with what I have. And also another choice would be to use, and this is a sun-dried tomato garlic, so how apropos is that? Got to get used to this camera angle. There we go. So Miyoko's. So we could use that. So it's really up to your taste, but this has kind of a smoky flavor, or maybe not. This is the chow. There's a smoky Gouda that they sell at, I think they sell at Sprouts. Yeah. I'll unmute you. What are some of your favorite, whoa, I almost hit the wrong button. What are some of your favorite cheeses, Diana?
Well, we have a lot of cheese, but they're vegan cheese, but I really don't remember their names. But they're similar to what you just mentioned. Anything that is exactly nowadays. That's the wonderful thing about being vegan, that you can you have so many options that are very similar in taste to the real thing, without having to hurt any animals, which is fabulous. And I think as time goes by, it's just going to get better and better. We're going to have so many more options, and so much healthier.
Yes. How long have you been vegan?
Oh, I've been a vegan, I think about now 7 years or a little bit more. Yes. Yeah.
I've been vegan for 5, and I've noticed every year it gets easier and easier, more and more options. How about you?
No, for me, exactly. For me, it's very easy because of my love for animals. So it was very easy just to stop, everything that had to do with them. And when I go to the doctor, everyone, they laugh at my cholesterol because it's just so fantastic. They don't even believe, sometimes they don't even believe the numbers. So it's because it's very healthy. Just so you eat healthy. I mean, how can you go wrong with veggies? You just can't.
And it heals your body. I believe that it heals. And eating all these healthy foods have kept us healthy during this horrible crisis. But there you go. Isn't that looking good?
Delicious.
So
looks fabulous.
On the pizza, so it's almost ready because it's going to brown in there for 10 minutes, but we will let it cook. I'm going to cover it for a sec more. And really the last step is just to kind of cook the tomatoes. In this particular recipe, I have to lean over to be on camera. In this particular recipe, the tomatoes, I'm leaving them just like kind of broiled a little by the oven, what the oven, how it kind of grills, I don't know the terminology, but so that's what's cooking them, in other words. But you can do it any way you want. In fact, you could put all these ingredients on and just shove it in the oven. You don't even have to cook anything. I mean, I don't know about the spinach, that might not work, but you can do it that way as well.
I think it can work.
Yeah? Have you done it?
Yes, we've put spinach in the oven, and it does. Okay. It's crispy.
It comes out good. Oh, good. So there you go. I mean,
but I could be wrong because I'm not the cook in my house. My husband is, and he's. But I think I've seen him do that.
Yeah. Now, you know, everybody likes it differently. I like my spinach a little stringy. I'm going to give it a moment or more. Let's see what time we're doing here. Ooh, yeah, we're doing okay time-wise. I think we're okay. I don't know. I think we have enough time. But
How long will it be in the oven, or does it have to be in the oven?
in there, they say that in the recipe, it said it could be in there 2 minutes. Because everything's cooked. You're just melting the cheeses. So I've got my oven ready, and I'm going to start just chopping up now. I'm going to chop up some of this, or actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it up with my fingers, the bacon. I'm just going to scrunch it up into little pieces. It's working really good. And when I put it on the pizza, you'll see it. But literally what I'm doing is taking, so people can see, taking one of the pieces of the bacon, and with my fingers just breaking it up, just like it would crumbling, you know, the other animal cholesterol, dead animal body, you know, not the good bacon like this, the bad bacon, but it crumbles up really nicely, really nicely. I'm just being silly, folks, a little. I don't know if that's something to joke about, but you see, I mean, bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich, do we really need to cause all that suffering to animals, really? Okay, I think we're ready, Diana. We're going to load this up. So while I'm loading it, can you tell the folks like how long you guys have been working and how many elephants have been saved?
Oh, absolutely. So we launched Gentle Giants Stay Home Project, Gentle Giants nonprofit, at the same time on June 14th. So we've been, in business for a little bit more than 3 months. And since we started with 11 elephants, the 11 that walked 100 miles, made all that walk back to their villages. And actually they made headlines all over the world because everyone was seeing that they had to walk back to evade dying from starvation. And they also had to fend the wildfires that were happening in Thailand. And since then we've received other elephants. We're working with trekking elephants that now are gone into a better life because they're not going to be going back to the tourist industry. They're going to be living a beautiful life. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Are you going to be showing us something? I saw that
I just want to interrupt for a moment, and then once this goes in the oven, we can continue our discussion. But I just want to explain to folks what's here. So earlier today, of course, I baked it golden brown. That's set aside. I have a second one here, so I can change the ingredients in the second one. But what I added was Roma tomatoes, which I sliced fairly thin, spinach and mushrooms and bacon, and then I added a vegan cheese, and we're going to put this in the oven. So let me unmute you and keep going, follow that thought.
So, since we started, we received trekking elephants. That means that now they have no chains, no bullhook, and no saddle on their backs, and they're living a beautiful life, cruelty-free. And then now we have begging elephants. We just brought in 22 begging elephants. We took them off the street. These begging elephants are in horrible, horrible condition. If people want to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you can find us, the Gentle Giant Stay Home Project. These elephants are extremely, extremely thin because, they were walking up and down the street. And this one, you're showing us how you put it together?
Yeah, I'm just, as you're talking, I'll hold it up and show people. Now I put the tomatoes, so you can keep going, but I'm going to just keep doing this. So they see step by step, but go ahead.
So we were able to take them off the street. They're in a horrible condition. And I want to ask everyone out there, if you ever run into any situation where you see elephants begging, for you to buy anything or give them money, please don't. This just fuels the terrible cruelty against them, because the worse they look, the more people are prone to want to give them money. So, we just have to demand as human beings that we want them is in a safe environment, non-working environment, like what the Gentle Giants is offering.
Right. And here's the second one going in the oven.
So now we also are helping the Saddle Off programs. These are programs that had already, their owners had already had a change of heart, and they've worked with like Charlotte, who has retrained them or retaught them a gentle way with the Gentle Giants. And we're helping them because, of course, there are no tourists, there's no money, there's nothing. This is baby Sai Thong. She's only 2 months old, and her mother is 13 years old. So that means that her mother was force bred when she was just 11 years old. And elephants mature as we humans do. So that is as bad as of an 11-year-old little girl getting raped and having now a baby. So she is under our care, and we're hoping to keep her baby forever off the streets, and Wang Thong, the mother, of course, giving her a much better life. So, I hope everyone is part of this fundraiser, and I hope everyone tells their families and friends and companies and everyone, so that we can, you know, get enough money, hopefully, to rescue more. We have 20 more that right now we're talking about with the owners to see if we can keep them from going into the logging industry. It's a horrific industry, even worse than trekking. So we are really hoping that we can raise the money and the funds to that. But in the future, what our aim is, Lindsey, is that we could raise enough money so that we can buy land and actually start, a sanctuary where we can, as Gentle Giants, bring in the elephants and have them with us. The ones that really need our help and the owners are willing to give them up, we want to have them with us in our land and give them the best, most beautiful life we can.
That's right. And I love what Kobe, this is your partner, your
Yes.
co-founder. Kobe says here, tourists have the most power. Yes, vote with our dollars. I apologize, my husband's. Oh, that's not going to. Oh, wow. We're just going to ignore that. But yeah, vote with your dollars, folks. Make your voice heard. And we do have the power. I'm going to check on the pizza. Hang on. You keep going.
Okay, we do have the power to end all cruelty. We do all have the power. The tourists are the ones that pay for this abuse and this cruelty. We just have to make it a point not to take part in any of it, in any of activity that causes them to become slaves. No selfies, no going to see them paint. People say, oh, they're so intelligent. I see so many people saying, oh, look, an elephant knows how to paint. But they don't realize the torture they go through to teach them how to paint. They are absolutely right. Elephants are brilliant. But they are individual, beautiful beings that deserve to live as elephants, not as what we want them to be. And what they want to be is elephants. That means they want to be with their herd, with their kids, with the mud bathing in the river, chatting with each other, nothing to do with us. So, if we love them, we have to learn to respect them and love them from afar. And this fundraiser, we're really excited. We want to thank you. Thank you so much, Lindsey, because we are very excited that people can take part of this amazing new change and this amazing new way for the elephants. And also for people that say, many people say, how can you help animals and not help the humans? Remember that taking part in this, you are helping hundreds of mouths. For one elephant, we have one mahout who has his children, who has his family, and we're feeding them. For each elephant that we buy either sand or we get the shelter or we do whatever we do, then they are, we're having to hire the truck driver, the constructor, the one in construction, buying from the sand, everyone, everything is really, really important.
Yes, I'm just reading the comments. That's why I'm listening to you, but I'm also reading. No, it's important. People don't realize the impact we have. I was interviewing another gentleman in conservation a week or two ago, And he was saying that we go in, we take away, it was about palm oil. We take away all this, we destroy the environment for these indigenous people who make their living there. It's like going in someone's job and decimating or, destroying the place and stealing everything, ruining the company, and then going away. And we're left here, how are we going to pay our bills? How are we going to feed our children? So it's absolutely the same thing. Now, and I realize that these people are training, but this is what they've come to know. And we, if we were in that position, we don't know what we would do. We do whatever we have to do to survive, whatever we're taught. But there's a better way, and we can help bring this education. And these people learn, they're going to teach others. So it's something that just grows. Don't you think so?
Absolutely. And we are working so that these people get trained in other things. So they become self-sustaining with things that have nothing to do with elephants, so that hopefully they will go into a field where they can have a normal flow of income and don't have to exploit their elephants. So we're working in that. It's not that it's just this momentum that we're going to feed them, we're going to do this, and we just leave them on their own. No, we're working towards teaching them so that they can go into different fields and kinder ways with the elephants. So it's a big social impact. It's not only the elephants, it's not only changing the mentality, but one very important thing is that the tourists have to really take control of it by saying and refusing to ever take part of any cruelty. No matter how much we say, oh, I want to take a selfie with a baby elephant. Don't want to roll around the ground with with any baby elephant, because this is just fueling the worst cruelty to the mother and to the baby, and just they're making them become slaves earlier and earlier, just for a 5-minute moment for us, So no, we have to the world has to stand together, stand strong, and say no more elephant slavery. And we have to give these people options of earning a fair wages, fair income, and an honest way of living without having to see themselves forced to exploit. I want to tell you that the begging elephant owners are thrilled, because they are thrilled that their elephants don't have to suffer this. Elephants walking up and down the street in scorching heat, hard concrete, it's just causing their elephants to really be in pain and risking their lives. Not only the elephant, but also these people are risking their lives. They have to, try to avoid being hit by a car. I don't know if anyone with the people that have been in Thailand know that the roads are very, very narrow. So they have to share the roads with huge elephants, and, trying to control the elephant at the same time of trying to avoid being hit by a car. So they have embraced us very well. It's a change, and it's a change that they want to make, and we're making with them in a very kind and compassionate way.
Wonderful. And let me just jump in here and let you know that this smells so delicious.
Oh my goodness.
The only problem with doing this, let me tip and see if I can get this to show without dumping it on my keyboard, which would be a disaster, but wow. So let me just explain. This smells so good. You've got that smoky smell, of the crispy vegan bacon, and the spinach is crisp, but it's tender. It's like crisp on the outside, but tender. And I just feel so bad. You're my guest, and I'm going to go here cutting this in a minute. Now,
I'm so jealous.
I know. Some people actually add tomato sauce or just any marinara sauce. Let me grab a dish. I'm going to show you what this looks like. Right. Taste it. So, some people actually do it that way and make it a little moister, but I'm a fan of the original. And with the little bit of oil I put in the bottom of the pan, it literally lifted right out. Can you see that? It lifted out really perfectly. And I am no fancy cook that my pancakes always are lopsided. But wow, this was so easy. Gosh.
Absolutely. And
you can
I
put
think this
tomato
is another bad thing of COVID. You're having that delicious dish, and I would be there with you, but
Yeah, you would. Of course, I'd invite you. No, of course I would. I don't offer myself. Now, I'm going to add a little bit of vegan Parmesan. No, of course I would invite you. It'd be more fun with you here. We have maybe have a little glass. My new favorite is rosé.
absolutely.
Yeah, and I want to show folks, I added a little bit of Follow Your Heart Parmesan. Woo! Woo, there you go. And I'm going to add a little red pepper. Now, this is not for the faint of heart. Oops, it's not open either. So you know what? I'm going to be faint of heart and not open it, and worry about it because it's too messy to open it right now. We don't have much time. So I do want to take a bite and remember people that the fundraiser is this Sunday night at 7 o'clock Pacific Daylight Time. And that we have amazing people. Now, Lake is going to be with us, or is she traveling and doing her work? And
Well, Lek and I have been talking. We still don't know if she will be able to be with us, but I will for sure let you know. And if she is, it's going to be a great surprise because everyone around the world loves Lek. She's the most beautiful shining light, and she is just so selfless and beautiful and has helped so many people.
For
And
those
so
that don't
many
know, we should mention that Hillary Clinton named her one of the 6 female conservationists. What year was that? 2010.
10 in 2010.
I mean,
yes.
wow, that's quite an honor.
Yes. Lek has been mentioned if anyone goes and just Googles Lek Charlotte, a whole bunch of things will come up. All right, go for it.
Lek, yeah, we'll put her name up there. Yeah, definitely check her out. Wow.
I really don't like you right now, Lindsey. I'm so jealous. It looks delicious.
I'm telling you, Diana, it was amazing. And the crispy bacon is just a great.
Oh my goodness.
That was amazing.
I'm so jealous, but I will
You have to try it. It's so easy.
Exactly, and it doesn't take that long. How long does it actually take to make? Nothing, actually. It's a few minutes.
The only thing, it's not a lot of time making, but the only thing, like I say, you might want to just boil up 5 minutes, cook up your polenta, put it in the pan like you saw me do, put it in the refrigerator. It has to stay for 2 hours. That's the only time it's just setting. Then you put it in the oven, cook it. And the toppings is whatever you want. You can even put like fresh topping. You don't even have to cook it.
Exactly. And you could see, I think, if you're wanting to do this recipe, you could do the polenta the night before and just have it ready. And the next day, it's
come home from work
in 10 minutes.
It's basically ready in 10 minutes. But speaking of time, I think we are over our time. So before we go, we wanted to show you one more time. Well, first of all, don't forget to get that recipe. It will be on JaneOnTheChain.com in the next day or so, and the full recipe will be there. So don't miss that. And also, here's the Gentle Giants website if you'd like to make a donation. If you'd like to come and see the wonderful show, then please come. We need you. We want you. It's going to be Sunday night at 7 Pacific Daylight Time. We have amazing guests. Diana will be there with me. I'm hosting. Diana is there hosting with me for Gentle Giants, and we are going to have a blast.
We are going to have a blast. Please, everyone, take part of this beautiful chain of compassion and kindness and love towards the elephants and everyone.
And don't forget to make yourself some Polenta Pizza and make yourself feel good too.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you for being on, Diana. Love you, everyone. Thanks for watching. I hope you try the recipe and I hope you enjoy. Catch you next time. Don't forget to watch my show Tuesdays at 5 and Saturday at 10. I'll bringing you some more rescue stories and action hours. So bye-bye for now.